You know, in a hospital, it's absolutely critical to know exactly where your staff and your most important equipment are at any given moment. It's not a luxury, it's a core part of safety and efficiency. But here's the problem. The very technology most hospitals are relying on for this is straining their networks, it's costing them a fortune, and frankly, it isn't even all that accurate. Okay, let's get into it.
For years, the conventional wisdom has been pretty simple. If you want more accuracy, you need more hardware, more access points, more complexity, just more of everything. But what if that entire way of thinking is just wrong? I mean, really, what if the secret to a smarter, more efficient, and way more accurate hospital was to actually reduce the amount of gear you have in your ceilings? Now, that's a wild idea, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. So here's the heart of the issue. We are asking the hospital's Wi-Fi network to do a job it was never, ever designed for. It's built for data, for connectivity, for streaming information. It was not built to be a high-precision GPS for inside a building. And you can really see the problem right here. What a nurse or a doctor needs is pinpoint accuracy. They need to know exactly which room or even which bed a patient or an IV pump is in. But what they get from a traditional Wi-Fi system is, well, it's something else. It uses signal strength to guess the location, which inside a complicated hospital is often just a blurry, unreliable estimate.
So why is it so bad at this? Well, think about it. A hospital is a chaotic place for radio signals. They're bouncing off metal equipment, they're getting blocked by walls, and they're being disrupted by people constantly walking around. All of this creates a ton of interference, which makes using signal strength to measure location a really bad idea.
So, to try and fix this, the industry came up with what you could call a brute force fix. The solution? Just throw more access points at it. It's not crazy to see 3, sometimes even 4 APs crammed into a single hospital room, but this just creates a whole new set of nightmares. Your hardware and cabling costs go through the roof, and you flood the air with so much radio frequency noise that it can actually mess with the clinical apps the Wi-Fi was supposed to support in the first place.
Okay, so instead of trying to force that square peg into a round hole, there's a much smarter way, using a dedicated network that was built from the ground up specifically for location, and that's where Bluetooth Low Energy 5.1, or BLE, comes into the picture.
The magic that makes this all possible is a technology called angle of arrival, or AOA. Now, instead of just guessing how far away something is based on how loud its signal is, which is basically what Wi-Fi does, AOA locators use a smart antenna array to figure out the precise direction a signal is coming from. It's like the difference between hearing a noise somewhere in a dark room versus being able to turn your head and point directly at the source. It's a game changer.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Because this much better technology actually means you need way less physical hardware, and less hardware translates directly into huge savings.
Let's actually put some real numbers on this. For a typical 300-bed hospital, a Wi-Fi-based location system, or RTLS, needs a new access point about every 60 square meters. But a BLE 5.1 system? It's so efficient it can cover over 200 square meters with just one locator. The difference in density is just massive.
So for that same hospital, using a legacy Wi-Fi system would mean installing about 415 access points. Just picture that, 415 devices bolted to the ceiling. Now compare that to the dedicated BLE 5.1 network. To get far better accuracy, you only need about 140 locators to cover the exact same space.
Do the math on that for a second. That's a 66% reduction in the number of devices you have to buy, install, power up, and maintain. 2/3 of the hardware you thought you needed, poof, gone.
And the savings just keep rolling in from there. Fewer devices obviously means fewer cables. In this case, that's 275 fewer cable runs your team has to pull through crowded ceilings. That's a huge drop in labor, materials, and overall complexity.
And of course, it doesn't stop there. Fewer cables connecting to your network means you need less of that core networking gear. That's about 6 fewer of those big, expensive 48-port switches you need to buy, house in a comms room, and keep cool. When you add it all up, the financial impact is it's a no-brainer. Hospitals are seeing a 30 to 50% drop in their upfront capital costs. And because you've got less hardware plugged in and running, the operational savings on energy and maintenance just keep coming year after year.
But look, as incredible as those savings are, they aren't even the most important part of the story. The real payoff, the real win comes from how this superior accuracy completely transforms clinical operations and patient safety.
With sub-meter accuracy, you get what we call true room-level certainty. Think about what that really means. A mobile duress alert for a staff member isn't just somewhere on the third floor, it's in room 304 by the window. It means nurses find equipment instantly, which means less time searching and more time with patients. And it opens the door for powerful automation, like telling housekeeping to clean a room the very second a patient is discharged.
Oh, and there's another huge win for the teams managing all this gear: the tags themselves. Wi-Fi tags are notorious power hogs. You're constantly changing batteries. In contrast, because Bluetooth Low Energy just sips power, the BLE tags can last for 3, 5, sometimes even 7 years. That drastically cuts down the maintenance headache for your biomed teams.
So, you see, this decision is about so much more than just a simple system upgrade. It's really about laying the right kind of foundation to support the future of digital healthcare. A dedicated, high-accuracy BLE network becomes a platform for all kinds of future innovation. It's the backbone you need to build a true digital twin of your hospital, to run predictive analytics on patient flow, and to connect to this whole new world of low-power sensors and wearables that are coming our way.
There's a quote from the source material that just sums it up perfectly. By having a separate network for location, your main Wi-Fi network is freed up to do what it does best: deliver fast, reliable data for all your critical clinical apps and communication tools, without any compromises. Each network gets to be great at its one job.
And at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one question for any hospital leader looking at their digital strategy. Are you going to keep investing in an overbuilt, compromised network that was designed for the past? Or are you ready to build a lean, efficient, and incredibly accurate foundation that's actually ready for the future of healthcare?